This Sunday at the Royal Rumble, it's Roman Reigns versus everybody as he enters in at number 1. Let's talk about his chances of winning and the chances of someone else winning. I'm back and it's time for the 10th episode of TJ Sounds Off. Roman Reigns will take on 29 other superstars this weekend, but it is not for the number 1 contendership, it is for the actual World Championship. The person who wins this match will knowingly be a main part of WrestleMania 32, so let's look at the chance for Reigns to win this. Reigns is entering in at number 1, and only 2 other people before him have won in that spot. It all comes down to if the company trusts him holding that title to WrestleMania. If he enters at number 1 and wins it, then he will be the 3rd person to have back-to-back Royal Rumble wins. His chances of winning for me are at 85%. Now let's look at the other contenders. Brock Lesnar looks very likely to win back the title that he never lost, and could set up a repeat main event which should be a clean finish. But something tells me that he's going to get screwed over in this match, hopefully by a rising star. Brock's chances are at 75%. Now Chris Jericho would be an interesting choice to win this, considering he has been losing rivalries, but if he does win, this will probably be his swan song as he wins his final world title. His chances of winning are at 70%. Dealing with 2 matches that night would be Dean Ambrose. Ever since he won the title off of Owen at TLC, he's looked very strong and has elevated the title in such a way, but the question is that since he has the title, could he walk away with another one? Most likely not. The person that dumps him over the top rope is the person that he'll be feuding with at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. Ambrose's chances are at 50%. Kevin Owens has been booked interestingly over the past few months. He's a prize fighter, so he'll likely be one of the last people in the Rumble, but he has a match earlier in the night against Ambrose, but don't count on him winning because it seems like he has a much more interesting feud ahead of him. There is a strong possibility of him getting the title this year, but I don't think it's this early. He has a 50% chance of winning the Rumble also. Now, the League of Nations will be judged together because their chance of winning the title isn't big at all, but the person who can make the biggest impact is Rusev. If you remember last year in the Rumble, he almost won until Roman Reigns threw him over at the last second. I feel like this could be a big year, but he has not been booked correctly. Maybe next year. Their chance altogether is at a 35%. The next faction I'd like to talk about are the Social Outcasts. None of the guys that you see here have a chance of winning, with Heath Slater having the biggest chance, but it's not big at all, at 10%. The last faction I'd like to talk about are the dark horses to win this thing. It is the Wyatt family, especially Bray Wyatt, as he has been unstoppable and they have demolished every team in their path. If you remember on Monday Night Raw, they beat down Brock and Roman, solidifying their status in the Rumble. Wyatt most likely will be in the final 5. If he wins, we will see Wyatt vs. Reigns and Wyatt vs. Ambrose most likely sometime in the future again. But a feud with Lesnar could be very interesting. His chances of winning are at 80%. Lastly, any surprise entrant in the Rumble gets a 45% chance of winning. That goes for Daniel Bryan, The Undertaker, anyone over the age of 40, anyone from NXT, and the likes of AJ Styles, Bullet Club members, and Nakamura. But a feud between any of them could be interesting. What do you think? Will Roman Reigns win? Will there be any records that will be broken? Will a dark horse win in main event WrestleMania? Comment, subscribe, like below. But until then, TJ has to go.